My workouts have been going a little longer, so you'll have to forgive me. But I was really encouraged yesterday. I got some response yesterday from the talk we did about physical training and spiritual training and nutrition. And I was so encouraged that you guys engaged about that I wanted to continue that a little bit with you. And I know I told you this week we'd talk a little more about angels, and we're going to, but I couldn't leave this one without talking about it. So one of the questions was, okay, so I think I understand how to engage in physical training, right? There's some principles you need to put in place. There's some nutrition that you need to engage in, but how do I truly get engaged in spiritual training? How do I begin that process? How do I grow? Well, the first thing you need to understand is we have a tendency as people to want instant gratification. We want to go from novice to expert in a matter of seconds. In fact, I can prove it to you. Most of us are epidemiologists now already. Most of us have already finished it. A lot of us are our own doctors, right? We have studied, we have read enough articles to know what's wrong with us. We can self-diagnose, we can self-medicate, we can do all the things. We're really good at that. The truth is that everything that is worth anything requires effort. It requires studious training. It requires committed engagement on a daily basis. And so one of the questions that was asked, so how do I get started in this process? And I'm going to give you a few tips that you can start doing. And I know that I kind of talked about all of this stuff before, but I want to put it into the physical training concept or the spiritual training concept, because I think if you can wrap your mind around the fact that you're just trying to get a little better than yesterday, like that should be your goal, is a little better than yesterday. I think that's why Paul says that he wakes up every day and he examines himself and he buffets his body. He considers the ways in which he can grow in the Lord. And I think that's something that you and I have to wake up every day and make a determination about. And so I'm going to rehash some stuff we've already talked about, but in this context, because I want you to understand that the principles that I'm giving you, the principles that we talk about, how to get nearer to God, how to have a closer relationship with God, all of these principles also improve you. They make you a better person. And so let me use the physical training concept for just a second. One of the things that we get told, I told you yesterday, one of the things we get told all the time is fitness starts in the kitchen. Like nutrition is so vitally important, right? And so I talked about the fact that you need to jump into the Word, you need to spend some time in study, you need to spend some time with God, and I still believe that you need to feed your spirit. That is maybe one of the most important things you can do to accomplish spiritual maturity, is feed the spirit. In fact, there's an old story I heard, and I'm not sure what civilization or what culture came up with it, but one man said there are two wolves inside of you, and one of them is fighting to do the things that are good and right and noble, and the other is fighting to do the things that are evil and wrong. And the little boy asked, so which one wins? And the answer he gave was whichever one you feed. And so the same is true with you, whichever one you feed. And so the first principle that I want to give you in this physical training is one that they give us in our spiritual training, is the one they give us in physical training, which is if you want to get better, you have to put yourself in an uncomfortable position. In other words, every day you should do more than you did the day before. You should stress yourself, and I don't mean stress the way we normally mean stress. I mean, we ought to put some tension on ourselves so that we can grow. We will not grow in comfort. I just want you to understand that. If you just lackadaisically go through things and hope things will just come to you, it's not going to work that way. It doesn't work that way in anything. And so you need to put yourself in some discomfort. You need to learn to practice your faith on a daily basis. And 2 Peter is probably one of the best verses that kind of illustrates this for us. In 2 Peter chapter 1, he says, make every effort to add to your faith goodness. And I've already covered this text, and I'm not going to go over each one of these, but I want you to understand that there is a promise attached to this, that if you will engage in the process, you will see results. If you will engage in the process, you will see results, but you have to get intentional about it. You know, I was a member of a gym for years, and I never got stronger. I never lost any weight. I never got healthier. But I was a member of a gym. Why didn't I get stronger? Why didn't I improve? Well, the simple answer is you can't just be a member of a gym. You have to go to the gym. And I would drive by it a lot. I would see it. Every once in a while I'd pop in and do a little bit of this or that, but there was no consistency. And so every time I would go in there, it felt like I was starting all over again until I committed to doing it daily. And now I can do it daily. I can literally do a 40-minute workout, come in here and have a conversation with you. Back then, I did a 40-minute workout. I would have had to go and shower and rest, and certainly couldn't have drank hot coffee at the end, and still I'm not sure that's a good idea. So I want you to understand there's 3 things I think you can do, and maybe even should do immediately if you want to start your spiritual growth process. And the first thing is you need to decide who's going to train you. You're like, well, what do you mean? Well, I literally mean you probably need to find someone to mentor you, someone who is stronger in the faith than you are, who can give you the tools necessary, who can hold you accountable, who can call you out when you're not fulfilling it. Like, you need to find a mentor. You need to find a spiritual trainer who will help you become all that you can become. You will not push yourself as hard as you allow someone else to push you. And so that's the first thing, is like find somebody that you can connect to that is spiritually stronger than you, and it'll become this this commonality between the two of you, which you'll both grow from. The second thing is you need to be connected to a church. Like, I cannot tell you how vital that is, and you need to practice your faith. I'm going to tell you, one of the things that has baffled my mind is how few of us have decided that our participation in fellowship is optional. It's when I feel like it. It's whenever it works out for me. If I don't have anything else going on, I'll join it. And so I want to encourage you, like, you need to make the decision, especially if you're a young family. One of the greatest things you can do as a young family is commit yourself to being a part of a church. It gives you the kind of accountability that you're looking for. Like, I'm going to be a part of the church. I'm going to do the things that the church is doing to grow. And just so you know, our church, we meet every Sunday morning at 9:30 for Zoom Bible study. You can jump on that. You can stay in your pajamas for that. You can, I don't necessarily need you to dress to the nines for that, but I do think it's important for you to jump on it. We're doing some really cool studies. On Wednesday nights at 7 o'clock, on Wednesday nights at 6 o'clock, we have something for youth. 7 o'clock, we have something for adults. 8 o'clock, we have something for young adults. And so we are consistently trying to, because we think it's important, put out there some content that can help each other grow and also provide opportunities for fellowship. And so those are 2. I said I was going to give you 3, but the video is getting long, so I'll give you the third one tomorrow. But I just want you to understand a couple of things. Like, you're not going to grow where you are. You have to push yourself. You have to get out of your comfort zone. You have to lift heavier weights. And it's maybe the greatest advice I can give you is take everything one moment at a time. One day at a time, one moment at a time, one decision at a time. Make your decision to serve the living God with purpose. Make your decision to grow in your faith. Make every decision and every effort to do the things you need to do. I hope this helps. I didn't mean to go this long, but I think this is such an important concept. You need to be better, and you can be better. but you have to commit to it. So I hope this helps. Tomorrow I'm gonna wrap this whole subject up because I want to spend I'm gonna spend Friday on angels again, because I think some of you still have some questions about that, and I want to respond to some of the comments that some of you made. But I hope you'll begin training today. I hope you'll take the time to do some physical training and some spiritual training, some physical nutrition and some spiritual nutrition. See you tonight. 6 for youth, 7 for adults, 8 for young adults. If you need to know how to get into the Zoom, shoot us a message on Facebook and I will get you the information. God bless you.